Hi everyone, welcome to today's installment of the Wedding Planning Summit. We are really happy to have with us Anna from Spellbound,
Hi.
who is a really experienced wedding planner in Singapore. So, welcome Anna to
Thank you so
today's
much.
session. So can you tell us a little bit more about Spellbound and your experiences?
Spellbound was started about 14 years ago by me.
Wow.
One of the reasons why I started Spellbound and the name Spellbound Wedding was because I wanted to do weddings that are interesting, that are unique, and hopefully will make the guests and the host, their family, spellbound. Pardon
I
the
see.
pun, but that was really the reason why I chose the word spellbound. Because I just want the guests, the host, when they enter the ballroom or through the journey, to be to have a wonderful journey.
I see.
So it is,
see.
that is why I called the business
Nice,
Spellbound.
nice.
And 14 years ago, we started the business.
Wow. That really makes you one of the industry veterans.
Yes,
for
actually,
sure.
dinosaur.
Well, wedding planning is such a big space, right? Because it covers literally anything and everything in the wedding, is that right?
Yes.
Could you take us through a little bit more about what are the typical services of a wedding planner and what does a wedding planner cover?
All right. I think that a professional wedding planner. I always tell my client, do you need a wedding planner to do your wedding? Do you need a professional wedding planner?
That's a great question.
Yeah, and I always tell my client that you don't actually need a wedding planner. You can do everything yourself. Your friends, your family, they all can do it. So normally, when a client hire us, they are usually involved in jobs that take a lot of their time. So they could be a banker, a lawyer, a business owner, a doctor. So usually they're in this profession. Not all the time, but usually they are. So when they hire a wedding planner, I always tell them that it's actually a very wise investment because, a wedding, when you go into detail, it actually involves a lot of hours. You spend a few hours looking through selections of wedding gowns or, like photographers, videographers.
Right, yes, absolutely.
So what I help them to do is that I help them to shortlist, maybe 5 photographers or 5 videographers or maybe 5 gowns based on what they want. So there is no piece of paper, this is who we use, this is what we don't. We analyze, and then after that we give you a short list, and then we do a brief description and everything. So this perhaps saves my couple maybe 10 hours of their work.
Now, more, right?
Yeah. So for a lot of them, their 10 hours is worth more than what they pay me. And this is only one aspect. You have photographer, videographer, venue, flowers, so forth. So in total, maybe it saves them, let's say, 100 hours, throughout the planning, let's say, for example.
Yep.
For a lot of them, per hour, maybe their worth is maybe at least $500, $600, $800.
Right, and not to mention if they make mistakes and they have to spend time.
So what they pay me when, you bring all this into consideration, and this is just hours. Like you say, it's not even, what if they made a wrong mistake and so forth. So when you calculate all these things and everything, it is very worthwhile for them to hire a professional wedding planner. Because, we really save them time. It doesn't mean that they don't get to make decisions. They do. But they get to make informed decisions.
Right.
And then, for us also what happened is that, of course, all wedding couples have friends and family. They're very happy that they get married, you know. And they will want to give opinions and so forth. But as a wedding planner, we can be objective. We can look out from all these bubbles.
Right.
And then we can tell them that, based on whatever requirement you like and so forth, maybe these are the things that is good. And also as an outsider in that sense, but with an insider preview to whatever you want, I think usually our wedding couples trust us that they can share with us truthfully what they want to spend, what is important to them, because sometimes they may have to project a facade.
Or manage expectations.
Exactly. But with us, normally our clients, they will share with us honestly what is important, and we will help to manage them, in that sense. Maybe tell them, look, maybe at the end of the day, this is not that important. Maybe overall, this is more important. So, maybe focus more on this.
Right.
So all these things, I think, a professional wedding planner would be able to really advise the client. And I also say, at the end of the day, especially for bigger weddings,
What do you define big?
once you hit the 200 and above, Actually, all weddings are big already. Because, it's just numbers. But sometimes the smaller wedding are actually more important because all those that come are people that really matters
Right.
to you. To hire us, we are like insurance also lah. We
In
make
case
sure,
anything goes wrong.
Yeah, in case anything goes wrong. And if the measure of a good planner is actually not when everything is okay. It's when everything is not okay. How do you, resolve the issue? You hire us to make sure that, the planning process, your whole journey is nice. We cannot give you like 100% stress-free because there are other things like that you need to stress, like which gown. You may have confirmed the designer, but then, the details of the gown and everything, you need to, spend time. But these are the fun things,
Right.
These are the things that you should enjoy. Like talking about the design. I mean, you should like it, you should enjoy it. But of course, you may be a bit stressed, thinking, oh, maybe you need to lose a bit of a weight, all these things. So it's
But
not
these are the little things.
that makes it fun,
Right.
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 So things like, food tasting, you try the food, comment. These are nice things, but, but making appointments to do food tasting, talking about this, that, let us do it. We help you with it. These are the non-fun things. Checking through BEOs, all these things. These are not fun things. And I remember speaking to the mother of a bride. So they have all these meetings and she has her own team because they do a lot of events as well, in whole Singapore. So I said to them that, this is not a corporate event. This is a wedding event. In itinerary on that day and everything, you cannot follow chop. It's a wedding.
You have emotions,
Yes.
right? People want to stay around and hug each other.
Exactly. You cannot say, okay, 9 o'clock, you must go on stage. Time, 3 hours, 3 minutes, things like that. You can't. It's a wedding. It has to be nice. It has to be soft. So for Spellbound, we deal with the couples. But at the same time, I think we are quite well known for being able to handle the elders' requirement.
Which
the
is a
elders'
very
need.
difficult thing to do sometimes.
Actually, not
No?
always. I think I have an affinity with the parents because maybe I'm a little bit older, so I understand sometimes their concern because what they want is really the best for their children as well.
Right.
So, but there's certain protocol that needs to be addressed, and at the same time, I also understand where the couples are coming from. So I try
Is
to
there
be the
usually a
bridge.
mismatch between the couples and
For
the elders?
for us, so far, with where it involves the parents, so far we are lucky. We haven't. As a planner, you have to be able to, to show your strength and know your things. There was once an incident whereby the hotel tell me 4 o'clock, so I said okay, and because we had quite a big setup, then and we were the planners as well lah. At 4 o'clock, no, at 3:45, I look at
The tables are still there.
Yes. I told the hotel, because I know the hotel pretty well, I said, no way can you exit at 4 o'clock, man. No way. I said, you better tell your manager to start pushing. I mean, to like maybe the guests can say goodbye and everything,
Oh, the guests are still there.
They're still sitting eating.
I see. Oh.
I said, no way can you clear, I mean, I'm just thinking you have about 50 tables and people are still eating. In 15 minutes, you're telling me that you
No,
can
that's
clear?
not possible.
It is impossible, I said, So, but I told them, I said, you better, because I said at 4 o'clock, I'm coming in. I'm starting to do the stage. I said, I do
You
not
have
care.
no time to.
I said, I do not care. Even if the lunch people said that how can Spellbound be so, but I said, I don't care because I only represent my dinner client. And we give you 4 o'clock, it is fine. True enough, then I think they got scared and then start ushering people out lah. But still at 4 o'clock, there were quite a lot of people. And I said, okay, the max is 4:10. And true enough, 4:10 I came in. We start doing the stage. A lot of people think that wedding planning is really easy.
They think it's just about coordinating.
Exactly. It is not. It is, if you really go into the detail,
Right.
it is just like a wedding gown. A wedding gown is a wedding gown. But there's so much, it's the material, it's the structure, it's the shape, it's it's the fitting, it's the movement, So actually, in what we do in the wedding industry, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't need to have all these things. You can just book a hotel, book a gown package, go and do your march-in, your second, your third march-in, and so forth. And have a wonderful wedding. It can be as easy as that. But there is another phase of wedding whereby it gets really detailed, you know. It's like when you walk in, you know, do you want to walk into a ballroom with really nice scent, you know, and
the details, right?
Yeah,
really make a
so
wedding
for
different.
us, I feel that if you pay us to do all these things, we want to make sure that you have the experience of your life. We want to make sure that your guests has the experience of their life. Then, I tell my clients all the time, or potential couples, it really depends on what you want. You have planners who charge way less, and maybe you just want a coordinator, and that is fine. You know, you may just want a planner that just want, just to make sure that A, B, C is there. And that is fine. They do a very good job.